What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Sports Talk with Brodes. And today, the Sixers took on the Milwaukee Bucks at the Wells Fargo Center without Giannis. And to me, that's a huge statement because, I know it's an uncontrollable for the Sixers squad, but it definitely upsets me that we're not getting the Celtics with Kyrie, and we're not getting the Bucks with Giannis. And I get it, these people are injured, and I knew before this game was going to happen that he was going to miss the next two games. And with that being said, the Sixers get the job done. They won the basketball game, and that's definitely huge. I mean, you got to see a performance when a team that's better than you in the standings is missing an all-star, essentially, that you got to get the job done and win the basketball game. I mean, that's just how it goes. And they win 116-94, and they played great for 3/4 of the basketball game. I thought the third quarter, they definitely struggled a little bit. Coming down to the points, Ben Simmons ends up getting 16 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds. So he was flirting with the triple-double life. Obviously, the all-star that he is, Joel Embiid is the one that gets the boys going and gets 29 points and 9 rebounds. 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. And my player of the game, besides Embiid, obviously, goes to TLC because he had himself a nice little night, who had 16 points, hit 3 3-pointers, and played a good basketball game. I thought he played very well. Robert Covington hit 3 3-pointers as well, shot 3 for 6 from behind the arc, so he played great. And TJ McConnell had 11 points in 32 minutes, had 7 assists. At one point, he had an and one off a nice little spinorama and gave the fans the let's wrap it up. Let's wrap this up, TJ McConnell. So, cutting into the game a little bit, Jason Kidd, and this is a 19-year career veteran in the NBA, praises Ben Simmons and says that he sees the floor like elite basketball players do. And Jason Kidd knows what he's talking about. He's facilitated the floor at a high level for many, many years in this league. So he obviously knows what he is talking about. So the Sixers we're up 16 points at one point in this first half, and at the half, it closes on a 9-2 run for the Bucks and a 61-55 lead for the Sixers. And this is when it gets tough going into that halftime because that third quarter was atrocious. Talking about 11 turnovers in the third quarter alone and only 3 in the first half. It was 77-77 at one point. Like I said, we were up 16. This is the problem that I have with this squad. That kind of stuff can happen. We get away with it when teams don't have their top players. And I don't want to sit here and be negative. I don't, because Negadelphia is a thing here in Philadelphia. We get the W. But there are some things that I think this team needs to work on. Ben Simmons hits one early jump shot in the game. He had another one at the top of the key. Hideous. Looks like a 40-year-old man going to LA Fitness Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning, trying to hoop with the boys. I don't get it. I don't want to get there. I really don't want to get there. Going into the fourth quarter, the score was 84-80. And the Sixers just put on a show there in the fourth quarter. At one point, and I think this was technically a little bit at the end of the third quarter, but we went on a 27-9 run, and there were still 4 minutes left in this game, but we finished it. And Embiid at one point was holding his hand, and it looked like he was in pain. I did not want to see that. That bothers me. At one point, he had a nice little and one play, and he grabs his upper thigh after the play. It was very mild, but that's the kind of stuff that scares me. That's the kind of stuff that gets me worried. But it was a great W. I can't lie. It was a great W. We got a demanding win, and it was a win that, we had our struggles in the third quarter, like I said, but we came out in the fourth and said, no. This is our game. We are going to win this game. We improved to 22-20, and it was a great weekend here for Philadelphia today, right? You get the Fly Guys win at home. Then later that night, the Sixers win at home. And it all leads up to tomorrow. So looking onward for the Philadelphia 76ers. The 22nd, which is Monday night, they go to Memphis, a struggling Memphis squad, 16-29. is their record. That has to be a demanding win for me. If we're going to be a team that wants to be good in this league, we can't be going into Memphis and putting up a terrible game. A stinker. I won't allow it. It can't happen. We need Joel Embiid to do his thing. He dominates. I mean, we all know it at this point. He's obviously an all-star. He dominates. And it's different because a big man in this league, you know, they definitely dominate. You get guys like Anthony Davis and you get guys like Karl Anthony Towns and Embiid. But it's not like that anymore these days. It's just not. You have the Steph Currys taking over. You have the three-point shot at a whole different high. You got Joel Embiid shooting threes for, you know what I mean? You got Joel Embiid out there taking threes, and that's why he's as good as he is, because he's so versatile, he can do everything. I know I talked about TLC a little bit before the game. Now, he actually started over Jared Bayless, did not get the nod, and J.J. Redick is still out with a cracked bone below his knee. So, you know, that's a huge piece for this Sixers squad, no doubt about it. He's somebody that we can trust with the three-point ball. And, you know, TLC stepped in tonight. I thought he played great, but he's not going to be draining threes to the extent of J.J. Redick. And here I am, and I feel like I'm down after a nice W by the Sixers. I feel like I'm talking about, you know, I don't know if what I'm looking for here. Maybe I'm down because we're not playing teams that have their top players, and it's like, oh, great, we can win when they don't have their top players. And, oh, TLC played great tonight, but he's not as good as J.J. Redick. And I feel like I'm always down on this, but I'm just being realistic and then honest with the way that I feel. I think this team, you know, playing the Memphis Grizzlies and the Bulls are two wins that we can take here, and we got to keep riding this high. I mean, we're playing great basketball right now. We have to clean up issues, like I said. And here I go negative again, but it's just the truth. We got to clean it up because these third quarters that we're having with 11 turnovers against a good team, it's just not going to flow. It's just not. But looking at the stat line for some of the Bucks, there were some players out there tonight on the floor that had some good nights, good respective nights. Middleton ended up having 23 points and 14 rebounds and 10 assists. He works himself into a triple-double. Eric Bledsoe does nothing for me. He can talk the talk and tweet all he wants about getting out of Phoenix. He had 14 points. Snell had 15 points. James Young, if you remember James Young from Kentucky, who had a huge dunk in the NCAA tournament, one of the biggest dunks I've ever seen, actually. He ended up playing a debut for the Sixers after getting cut from the Celtics D-League team. And his first possession, he drills a three in the corner, but he didn't really do much besides that. He had 8 minutes and 4 points. And I just thought it was funny that he gets himself a nod in his first possession. He gets a nice little three from the corner, but he looked a little weak defensively. I think, you know, not much going for him there. Definitely not much going for him there. And at one point, though, today, I was smiling. I was laughing. I was actually sitting there laughing by myself watching T.J. McConnell on the floor, dribbling up the basketball, thinking, this dude right here, T.J. McConnell, I'm watching and respecting every single night because the way he works hard and his work ethic. Let's end on a good note. Positivity. T.J. McConnell just works his ass off, straight up. And I respect it because he knows he's not as athletic as some of these guys. He knows he's not as talented as some of these guys. But his work ethic has made him a sixth man off the bench, logging in 32 minutes off the bench. And like I said, getting that and one off the hitting the B button spinorama, finger twirl, let's wrap it up. He does his thing out there, and I gotta respect it. Because that's the kind of player I always want to be. With that being said, that was the wrap-up of the Sixers-Bucks. We'll be back in 2 nights when we go to Memphis. Thank you so much for listening. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button. Comment if you'd like to. Go Sixers, baby.